What would you do if the world rejected your ideas? What if you were cast aside, forced to wander with nothing but your beliefs and your will to drive forward? Many of you would have given up, but Confucius didn't. He saw the world falling apart, and instead of retreating into despair, he decided to build something that would last. His story isn't about fame or power, it's about something far greater: the power of living with integrity, even when the world tells you it's not enough. Kongzi, later known as Confucius, was born in 551 BCE in the state of Lu, modern-day Shandong province, China, at a time of political fragmentation and moral decay. The land was divided and power was fought through war, not wisdom. His early life was far from privileged, and his family faced great hardship. His father, a warrior and military officer, died when Kongzi was only 3 years old. Left to be raised by his mother in poverty, he faced a world that showed little mercy to the weak. Yet from this hardship arose a man whose heart would yearn not for the riches or titles, but for the restoration of virtue and morality in his society. As a young man, Kongzi began his work in humble positions. First as the keeper of the state granary. There he was tasked with ensuring the fair distribution of food. Even in such modest role, he stood up for his unwavering integrity. His dedication and refusal to accept bribes or favors earned him a reputation of a man of honor. Despite this honesty, the powerful people around him were not pleased with his refusal to conform to the corrupt system. Still, his ambition for moral leadership kept him moving forward. He was appointed to a higher government position, including that of Minister of Crime in Lu, where he implemented reforms designed to reduce corruption. But the ruling class focused on power rather than virtue and was not interested in his moral vision. He believed deeply that a good ruler must lead by example, but he quickly found out that this was not the principle showed by many of the leaders around him. His reforms were met with resistance and mockery. Realizing that the rulers of Lu were not ready to embrace his ideas, Kongzi made the difficult decision to leave the state and travel to other regions, hoping to find a ruler who might be open to his vision of a just society. He wandered for years, seeking an opportunity to influence the leaders of his time. Yet his journey was not easy. He faced constant rejection, mockery, and even exile. During this period, Kongzi was often forced to rely on the kindness of strangers. His stomach might be empty, but his heart was not. He carried with him an unwavering belief in the power of virtue, and he continued to teach those who would listen even as he moved from state to state. Despite the hardships, he never abandoned his philosophy. He believed that a true leader must serve others, and his own life became a testament to that idea. In time, Kongzi shifted his focus. He began to teach not only the noble elite, but also the common people. He gathered disciples from all walks of life, sons of farmers, merchants, warriors, and scholars. His teachings were grounded in the belief that anyone, regardless of their social status, could be a person of virtue, integrity. Though his teaching, he emphasized the core principles of Ren: kindness and compassion, Li: respect and discipline, and Xiao: devotion to family. He taught that virtue could be practiced by anyone and that moral leadership was not about power, but about service to others. Despite his teachings, Kongzi struggled to find a ruler who embraced his ideas. It was only after his death in 479 BC that the world began to recognize the full weight of his teachings. Though he died without ever seeing the widespread influence of his philosophy, his ideas eventually became the cornerstone of Chinese thought. In time, Confucianism became the state philosophy during the Han Dynasty and continued to shape the lives of emperors, scholars, and everyday people for more than 2 millennia. Today, his teachings continue to guide not only China but the world. His ideas about virtue, leadership, and moral integrity remain as relevant now as they were in the 5th century BCE. The simple yet profound belief that one must live by a moral code, respect others, and act with kindness continues to inspire millions. His legacy lives on today, not in the power he could have wielded, but in the lives of those who, inspired by his teachings, continue to lead with integrity, seek wisdom, and work towards a more just and virtuous world. Confucius didn't just teach philosophy, he lived it. Through every hardship, every rejection, every moment of doubt, he remained unwavering. In a world that often chooses power over truth and success over virtue, Confucius chose something deeper. He chose to lead with integrity, to treat others with kindness, to value wisdom above all, even when it seemed like no one was listening. And because of this, his legacy lives on, shaping the world for more than 2,000 years. But here's the truth. Confucius' story isn't just about him, it's about you. It's about how you choose to live today. Will you wait for the world to change before you change? Or will you be the change you seek? Will you lead by example even when the path isn't easy? Will you choose integrity when it's hard, kindness when it's unpopular, and wisdom when others choose ignorance? You have the power to change the world around you, just as Confucius did. It's in your daily choices, how you treat others, how you carry yourself, how you live your truth. The question is, will you rise to the challenge? Will you leave your mark not through wealth or fame, but through the impact you have on the lives of those around you? Confucius showed us that greatness isn't found in what we have, it's found in who we are. And who you are today is the key to everything you can become tomorrow. So ask yourself, what legacy will you leave? What values will you stand for? The world is waiting for your greatness. Don't wait for a better time. Start now.